Hello everyone, I'm Katie Jones, the reference librarian in the Bossier Parish Community College Library. And in this video, we're going to go over how to find articles in our databases on literature topics. So I am going to go ahead and go to the full screen. And first we need to just get to the BPCC Library webpage, which you will find under Academic Life in the gray bar and Library. Next, we are going to go to the databases here on the left, and I want to click on Databases by Subject. Databases by Subject, because that will let us look at an entire list of literature databases that will all have information on authors, popular works, biographical information, anything you might need for a research paper on a popular work. So here in our list, our literature list, we have lots of options of databases that you could possibly use for your paper. I am only going to focus on a couple of those in this video, but please note that any of these might be a really wonderful place for you to find information. The first one I want to take a look at is Literature Resource Center by Gale Group. This is also where you find the Gale Literary Index that points to where to find information in our print sources. There is a video on that if you need information on the print reference works. But for now, let's click on this to take a look at how to find information on our novels in the database itself. Now, what's wonderful about these databases is that they will give you the full text of an article just right here on your computer. Now, one thing I didn't mention when I was on this Databases by Subject page is when I click on the name of the database, if I'm off campus, it will ask me to log in with my Lola username and my 6-digit birthday as the PIN number. Once I put in that information, anything we access from this point forward, you can access from off campus. So that's a very wonderful thing for some of you who may commute onto campus or may not live very close and don't really have an opportunity to come physically to the library. Now, the way this works, you've got just a basic search here. I am going to put in the name of my novel. And in this case, let's try The Color Purple. Now notice that it gives me some options. The Color Purple was made into a play and a movie, so I want to click on The Color Purple, the novel. And then I will say search. And now any article they have on the novel, The Color Purple by Alice Walker, should come up. And so here we've got 64 results, 64 articles, 64 possible criticisms I can use in my paper. Now notice I do have other tabs up here at the top if I needed biographical information on Alice Walker, or maybe I needed just a work overview, a topic overview of the novel. But the first tab and the default is going to be the list of literature criticisms on that novel. So I can generally just skim through some of these titles. Sometimes they are a little more descriptive than others. For example, this one here says race and domesticity in The Color Purple. Now, if that was a topic that I was interested in for this paper, I can click on it and it will bring up the record. And in this case, it's going to give me my author. It's going to tell me where it was originally published, where they've republished it. And then in this case, it is a full text article, so it's got the full text of the article just typed out right here for us. So I've got that entire article, and I didn't have to, check it out. I didn't have to pay anything. It's just all available right here for me. Now, you will have to sometimes just quickly scan these articles, read that introduction to see if it's really going to work for your specific paper. If you find an article that you like and you want to keep that article, you have some tools over here to the right. In this case, you can print it, you can email it to yourself, you can save it to your flash drive or to your computer if you're at home. For that email option, I click on that, I just put my email address here. You can even email it to other people if you know someone else might be interested in this article. And one very helpful thing is that it will give you the citation for this article in MLA style. Now you do want to double check this, make sure it's exactly the way your professor has had you do it, but for the most part it's going to give you the information you need for your works cited page. And speaking of citations, we do have the Citation Tool here as the last option. And I can click on that, and it's now given me the article in MLA. If I need the article citation in APA format, here is the APA format. Again, double check this, but it's usually going to give you the information you need for that citation. I'm going to go back to our results list because I do want to show you a little something. Now you'll notice that the one we found was just this full text version, but every now and then you'll see a PDF option listed, and I want to find one with a PDF. Okay, so this one, this article has to do with the issue of gender in the color purple, but you'll notice that they say it's in full text format and PDF. So what I can do is I can click on this, and again I want to look over the information they give me, see if this looks like an article I'd be interested in, but if I want to keep it, what's really nice about these with the PDF pages is that I can click on View PDF, and it will give me a scanned version of the way it appeared in the journal. So rather than it just being typed out like this here, it's going to show me the way it appeared in the journal. So this gives me any pictures they might have given. It also gives me page numbers. And that page number will be very helpful when it's time for me to make the works cited page and I need to say where I found my information. So if you have the option for the PDF, I say to use that option. And then you can always move your mouse towards the bottom of the page and either save it or print it here. So it will print that PDF for you. And remember, if you are in the library, you do get 300 pages a month for free to print. So that is a very good option for you. So again, that was Literature Resource Center. And for the most part, you can just put in the name of your work here in this box. If you need any help with that, please come by the library and let me know. And I can definitely help you, or one of the other people at the front desk can help you find whatever information you need on your novel. And very quickly, I wanted to show you another database that I think is very helpful. I'm going to close out of Literature Resource Center, and this time I want to click on Literary Reference Center by Ebsco. It's right beneath Literature Resource Center, so these two are very good ones to remember. I'm going to click on that. And this one will look a little familiar to some of you who are used to searching in the Ebsco databases. Here they've given us several search field options. So maybe I want to find all of the information on a particular author. Let's see here. I would actually want subject author. Author will look at the author of the article. Subject author will look at, say, an article about Alice Walker. I also have literary characters if I want to look up information on a literary character or a genre. So I have lots of options here. If you're unsure of what to click, just don't select anything and it will work just fine. So in this case, let's go ahead and look again for the color purple. And I will just say search. And so anything that they have mentioning the color purple should come up. And in this case, we do have 81 results here. And if I bring it up to full screen, you'll actually see that they do have some images. So here we have a picture of Alice Walker. Let's see here. But we also have some of these results that we can choose from. A lot of the results in Literary Reference Center are going to be from print reference works. One you will need to watch out for is this master plots. These are generally just going to give you the plot of the story. Some professors accept those, some don't. So you do need to discuss that with your professor to see if master plots is a feasible option for your paper. But beyond master plots, we do have many other options. Let's see here. I'm noticing several book reviews, and let's say that I want to ignore those book reviews. I'm getting a lot of those. I don't want them. So I notice here to the left, I can refine my results. So I could refine it by date. I can also refine it by source type. So let's go ahead and just click literary criticism, and it will eliminate all of those book reviews. So here we're down to 26 results, but these 26 may be more in-depth information. So I'm going to ignore the master plots for just a second. And let's see here. So here we have an article. It says it's the pattern of surnames in the color purple. That sounds kind of interesting. I'm going to take a look and see what that covers. And so here when I click on the title, I've got my authors, I've got the source it came from, and then it's going to give me a summary telling me what that article is about. In this case, this is another one of those where we have the version in both full text and PDF. So I can either scroll down to get the full article, or I can click on PDF full text, and it will give me the scanned version of the article as it appeared in the journal. So while that loads up, you'll see that sometimes this does look a little better. If there are any pictures or page numbers, I will get that information through the PDF. So that's very, very helpful. And then we also have these tools over here to the side, which we are familiar with. The print option, the email option, the save option. Well, actually, I think this is the cite option and the export option or the save option. And you can also move your mouse down if you're in the PDF. You can save it or print it from the actual PDF. But again, with the citation option, you do want to double check and make sure that it's exactly the way your professor has had you do it. Sometimes there can be some discrepancies, but that little gold piece of paper will get you the citation for this article in a variety of different styles. Again, that was Literary Reference Center. We looked at these two databases, Literature Resource Center and Literary Reference Center, but any of these databases in this literature list can give you some really great information about your work or the author of your work. And if you have any questions, please come by the library or email us. Thank you.